Hey, what's up, guys? It's Geo Boxing Empire. Back with some more boxing. Now, I've been thinking about Triple G's reign as middleweight champion, and he's been having a long, long reign. He won the WBA title in 2010, and I feel like there's been so many great champions that had the belt since Triple G's had the belt. Dangerous champions that were a threat and big names at the time, and probably some of them still are. Now, in 2010, Triple G's beaten Milton Nunes for a WBA title, and at the time, Paul Williams was the champion when he beat Sergio Martinez, and he went up and was fighting at middleweight at the time. And I always thought that would be a really big fight, and I was wondering why they never fought before, or even Triple G fighting Sergio Martinez. Paul Williams was fighting until 2012, so that's the 2-year period where Triple G was a champion. That he never fought Paul Williams. Now let's go into. I want to talk in this video. I also want to talk about all the champions and big names that passed and came and passed when Triple G was a champion, and Triple G was never really mentioned for some reason. I don't know why. I guess he wasn't a big name enough. But I mean, I believe that there's two ways to go about being a big name in boxing. You can fight the best, or you can build your own legacy and just do you. And I think that's what Triple G is doing. He's setting his own legacy. Because sometimes when you start beating people you're not supposed to beat, people won't still give you your credit. Or people say you're overrated when you actually take the loss. So I think Triple G's trying to build his own legacy by beating the people he's beating. But at the same time, I feel like there's so many big names that passed Triple G. He could be so much bigger right now. So I'm just going to go through some threats I thought Triple G should have fought when they were hot. Okay, so I mentioned Paul Williams. Now, Peter Quillin was always a fight I always wanted to see at middleweight when Peter Quillin was obviously undefeated. Now, that would have been a great fight, So, Peter Quillin won the belt in 2012. So, he was undefeated for like a good 5 years until Jerry Jacobs got to him, finally. I know the negotiations with Peter Quillin and Triple G. Peter Quillin wanted more money, obviously, because Triple G was a big name. He was getting bigger. But, that fight never happened. But I thought that would be a really big fight. And when Peter Quillin actually had a threat, Kubrat Pulev, he actually vacated the title just to avoid him. So, when Kubrat Pulev fought for a vacant title, he fought Andy Lee, and Andy Lee stopped Kubrat Pulev. People don't remember, man, but Kubrat was a threat, man. And he still only has that one loss to Andy Lee. I checked his record, and he still only has that one loss. And he's been winning ever since. And Andy Lee has always been one of my favorite fighters because he can get dropped and come back and fight. And I always respected that because he'll get hurt really bad and come back and show his game. It's weird because it's like Andy Lee doesn't fight good until he gets hurt. This is sort of crazy. We always thought Andy Lee versus Triple G would be a good fight. And I still think it'd be a good fight. I think he still has it in him, even though he just lost recently, at least his notable fight against Billy Joe Saunders. And again, that Matt Corbett fight, when he was a top guy, coming up, when he was undefeated before Andy Lee, I always thought him versus Triple G would be a great fight, That never happened. I don't know why. Like I said, the Triple G would be a lot bigger name if you fought him. And then, of course, everyone knows the biggest name probably at 160 for a long time has been Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And, he was at middleweight, of course. So that fight never happened. Don't know why. But it's just so many big opportunities that Triple G wasted. And, he had a lot of amateur fights, Triple G, and I just feel like he should be so much bigger right now. Because, his path is great and all, but he's old. He's like 35 now. And he's just making a dent in the boxing scene. So, let me know how you guys feel. That's how I feel. I think Triple G is going. I think his career is. I think it's well managed. I guess he's taking the less risk, and I guess it's hard to get a fan base because boxing is mostly like it's mostly black and Mexican, at least in America. So those fan bases are guaranteed. And I guess he's just from a third world country, Kazakhstan. So it's really hard to get a fan base. Maybe he just had to build from scratch and brand himself until he got a fan base. I mean, it's worked. He's been selling out arenas. Maybe being a big name is just overrated. Maybe his way is the best way because it's been working for a lot of people. Why fight the best when you can just fight bums, and get knockouts and take less risk and less punishment and stay undefeated and look great, and get paid a lot of money. But I mean, Triple G has been stepping up lately, so I can't say all bums. He's been definitely stepping up lately. His competition is definitely getting there. They're threats now. They're definitely threats. So, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think beating all these fighters make Triple G a better fighter? You think he'd have more credit if he fought all those fighters? Or you think this way is the best way? And you think he probably would have lost one of those fights I mentioned above? So let me know how you feel. This is Geo Boxing Empire. Peace.